What's going on YouTube? It's Aaron here, and in this video today I'm going to talk about how you can structure your digital marketing agency to 6 figures as fast as possible, and you know what areas that you need to focus on in order to actually get to that 6-figure mark. And I'm also going to say the most important thing you need to focus on if you ever want to see good results when it comes to digital marketing, SMMA, or any other type of agency model like SEO, website building, etc., etc. So let's get right into it. So hi, how's it going, guys? If you don't know me already, my name is Aaron Bogle, and I'm running an SMA right now. I'm making some good revenue from it at the moment. I'm not at that 6-figure mark yet, but by focusing on these various systems, I know I will get to it. It's just a matter of time and just commitment and just staying on it and just keep doing what I'm doing, and I'll be there too. And I put everything that I do pretty much in regards to SMA on this channel, so you guys can pretty much get like an insider look on like what it's like to actually grow in SMMA. If you want to stay up to date and in the loop, you should consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel as well, as I think around more than 75% of you who watch this stuff aren't subscribed to me. Give out a lot of valuable content. In the comments you can see that a lot of people enjoy the value that I give, and you can see that I'm a so small channel at this point. So it helps me grow, and then by helping me grow, it gives me more incentive to give you guys better value, better knowledge. I love doing all this already, and all it costs you to do is just hitting the subscribe button, also hitting a like button on this video as well. That's it. No money, no anything. That's all it takes. So yeah, let's get right into structuring your digital marketing agency. So when I think of a digital marketing agency structure, I want to think of it as a funnel in this case. Okay, so we're going to use a good old friend Microsoft Paint so I can help you, so I can explain this more in detail. So overall, I like to think of a structure of a digital marketing agency as a funnel. So here we have the top of the funnel, and this we're going to call O, and then I'll explain what all these is throughout the video. And then we get to this one, and then we get here is through S, which I'll explain. And then we get to here, and then we're going to get to here, which is C, which I'll explain. And then we're going to get it back. Allows you to take this and put it back into here. Okay, so I just made it green just so it's easier to see. I'm not sure if yellow is the easiest color to see. So I think of setting up a digital marketing agency as focusing on these 4 things, and overall how the structure of it and how you can have a successful 6-figure, 7-figure digital marketing agency overall if you focus on these things. And then, but the thing is, if one of these aspects of this fails, then pretty much the whole building falls apart. Like the whole funnel falls apart if you don't really master one of these. Some of these are more important than others, as you can kind of tell by the size of the squares that I make. But overall, let's get into the exact structure you need. So the first component you need in a good digital marketing agency is a good outreach method. So the purpose of the outreach method is very simple. It's just, how can I contact, or how can I get in front of as many business owners as possible that could use my service in some way, shape, or form. So this doesn't just have to be just business owners, but maybe, let's say, this was with anything. Like if you are, a freelance book report writer, you want to know, okay, how can I reach out to as many students as possible who gonna need their book reports written for something like that, right? So pretty much with outreach, note that I made this the biggest square, because this, I think, is one of the most important things when it comes to having a good 6-figure SMA agency. Because simple enough, if the reason why you're not getting clients, the reason why you're not getting results, is because simply just no one knows who you are. I think that was a book that Grant Cardone did, right? So the more outreach you do, the more of a chance that people are gonna know who you are. And if you have a good message script, which I talk about a lot in some of my other videos, I'm not gonna mention it now. But after you watch this video, you can watch another one of my videos, which talks about formatting the perfect message script. So this is one of the most important things when it comes to SMMA. This is probably the most important, because if you always have a good outreach method, then you're just bound to get people into your funnel, which we can think of here. And if you don't have anything here, then there's no way you can get, people to the rest of this funnel, because you need to fill that top of the funnel first. So there's many different ways to outreach. There's cold calling, cold emailing, running your own ads, buying ads somewhere else. There's many different forms of outreach, and I'm not going to really get that into this video. I did make a video on the best SMMA outreach method. So at the end of the video, you'll probably see an iCard pop up for that. So when it comes to outreach, this is probably one of the most time-consuming parts. So this is why, many people choose to outsource it for the most part. But when you're first starting out your SMMA, and you don't have any experience talking to business owners, I do recommend cold calling for the start, so that way you know how to talk to business owners. Because the last thing you want is the first time you're talking to a business owner, you're going to be scared, you're going to be nervous. You're probably gonna be even intimidated for the most part, but you don't want to be talking to business owners who you have a potential to make a sale, and then you sound too nervous, or you say something wrong, or you don't know how to speak to business owners, and then that's a potential sale that you lost there just due to inexperience. With cold calling, you get that experience, you get that out of the way, so that way talking to business owners feels natural to you, and that you don't feel as nervous. Easier for you to talk to business owners, and then that way you know how to talk to them, and you can get the sale when you do talk to them. And lastly, the point of outreach is just to start a conversation. A lot of mistake that people do is that they try to sell, Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO, website design. They try to sell that on the first message. And overall, that is not what you want to do. That's not the point of the outreach. The only purpose of your outreach method is to get people to start a conversation with you. And by starting a conversation, you can go on to the next step of the funnel, which is when you have a potential to actually get a signed client. And this S part is the sales process. Now we are on the next step, which is the sales part of the digital marketing structure. So you need a good sales process that's going to get the business to know and like this video, and know and like you and trust you, to make sure that they know that you're the one to get them to where they want to be, and to show that you're the authority, and to show that you can actually do the results that you promised them, which is part of the outreach, part of the message that you sent. Pretty much the sales process overall, it's very simple. The business owner is going to tell you what they want, and then you say, okay, I can give you what you want, or if you can't, just say I can give you something close to what you want. So pretty much what you want to do is just figure out where they are now. So how is their business doing now, and then where do they want to be? So and then what you are is you say, hey, I do Facebook ads, I do Google ads, which can help you get to where you want to be, and I can take you where you are now and then get you where you want to be. And you also want to know, okay, what are they struggling with doing right now? So have they tried marketing before? And if they have, what failed about it? One of the calls from one of my live discovery calls I did a while back, when I asked, if he's worked with marketing agencies before, he said yes. He spent $50,000 on a marketing agency and got little to no results for it. And this is one of the reasons why, selling marketing packages has become a little bit harder nowadays, because what marketing agencies do is that they make all these promises that, I can get you all these results, I can do this and that and these and those. And then, when push comes to shove, they don't get them anything, because simply the client was expecting way too much. And, the marketing agency says, yeah, I can do that. And the marketing agency simply just can't live up to all their expectations, especially with maybe the budget that the client had in mind. So that's the point of the sales process, is you want to see what your customer wants, and you want to be honest with the customer. So this is why, the funnel gets a lot smaller here, because sometimes the customer wants, I want you to get me 500 leads for, $100. And no matter what platform you use, that's simply just impossible. So the sales call is, you want to make sure that that the client is a good fit to work with, as in, they treat you with respect, and they like you overall, and you would enjoy working with them overall, and that, hey, just get a feeling of what's the client's budget, So that way you can know, okay, these are the results that you can expect, or see if you're going to be actually to get those results. And then from there, you move on to step C, which is the close. In order to successfully do the close, you got to do one thing only, is that to hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and also subscribing as well, because the YouTube algorithm knows when you're on a closing call, and they'll give you good luck if you like and subscribe to this video. I'm just saying, like I say, I don't make the rules. I just do what the YouTube algorithm wants me to do. The closing call is pretty much your proposal, which is going to lay out everything you learned from the sales process. So pretty much with the sales process, you collected the information of where they are now and where they want to be, and you pretty much gave them hints and gave value in that sales conversation, saying that, if you say, oh, have you marketed before? They say, oh, we've tried Google ads before in the past. Then you can say something like, yeah, Google ads aren't great if you don't know what you're doing. Maybe did you try this and that? It's like, oh no, I didn't. And then you provide value overall in the sales conversation, and that's really easy to do because the customer may just ask you questions overall, and then you just tell them give them the logical answer behind that. And then the close is pretty much you're presenting the blueprint for the bridge, so that saying, okay, hey, with everything that you said to me, this is everything that you want. Here's everything that I'm going to offer to you, and here's the price to build that bridge. So the close is where you're going to get, closing objections. This is when, the heat of the battle is the most. The client is going to most likely going to try to say, hey, let me lower the price. So for that, I say, start with a higher price at first, and then just say, okay, you know what, since I really want to work with you, lower the price. By doing that, you can lower it to something that you already wanted anyway. But since the client, the client feels like they're getting a deal when you do that, because the client's like, okay, yeah, I was able to lower his price, but when overall from the start, you just start out with higher prices from the start. And if you want more closing tips that I personally do, or things that I do to pretty much not guarantee the sale, but make it a lot more likely for me to get the sale, leave a comment below, or just like this video overall, and I'll definitely make a video about different closing techniques you can use that I've used to help me get the sale, or increase my win probability of me getting the sale. And another thing I like to do, which also helps me close the sale, is just by offering a results-based guarantee. So this pretty much puts the risk on you instead of the business owner. So that's saying that, like, hey, if I don't get you the results, I'm going to give you back, a full refund, or 75% of the refund, whichever you feel comfortable with. A no results based guarantee, pretty much the business owner is just showing you all that money, and then if you don't get them any results, overall, who loses? I mean, overall, yes, you lost because you lost the client overall, but overall, you gain money from this, right? You were able to get your marketing management fee and pay for the ad spend. But the client, they lost money and they don't have customers to show for it for the most part. So by doing a results-based guarantee, that puts pressure on you to actually get them the results. Just make sure you emphasize to the customer saying that, hey, I can only get you those leads, those high quality leads that want to do business with you. I can't, close that lead for you. If I get you the leads, but you don't close any of the leads, that's not my fault. And from looking at that point of view, the client's going to fire you anyway, even if you do a good job and get the good lead. And then that's just sometimes how business goes. So sometimes it's good just to know, the closing ratio. But usually if a business has been in business for a while, then they're usually pretty good at closing overall. So that's nothing to worry about. But yeah, so this step is pretty much the closing step. So pretty much with your structure, this is like the cream of the crop of the structure. Obviously, it's a lot smaller because from your outreach to your sales to your close, people are gonna get off, or people are not gonna stay in the funnel. So this step's the last step, but you don't really need that many clients to have a really good profitable digital marketing agency for the most part, right? So for example, if you just get 6 clients charging $1,500 a month, and you keep them for a year, that's a 6-figure agency. Or you can handle 10 clients, $1,000 a month, you can get a 6-figure agency. Good goal to strive out for, but especially if you've never made a single dollar online, I don't think it's a good goal for you to just be like, I'm going to do a six-figure agency. Try to just get your first client. Try to get your first meeting. Try to get your first appointment. Do that. Focus on getting that first. And then once you focus on getting that, move up and up and up until you get to your goal. So just pretty much overall, just small goals can help you reach success a lot quicker. That's personally for me, that's what I did. I focused on how can I get my first meeting? How can I get my first client? And now it's all working out because I just focus on the small things. So regardless, so once you get the close, now it comes to R, which is the results. Your whole entire structure is based on the results you can get for them. No one just gives you money so you can just do more outreach, sales, and closes. What the customer wants is they want results. And that's why we do anything. So pretty much, you watch this YouTube video because you want the results of watching it, which is you're gonna know how to set up a six-figure agency. You order Chipotle because you want the results of eating a good meal and feeling full. So you gotta deliver on your results. So that's when your knowledge of Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO, whatever, that's when that comes in. Or if you don't know how to run Facebook ads or Google ads, you can easily just outsource it. You can post in different Facebook groups, go on Upwork, outsource the work, and just make sure that the person is actually reputable and can actually get you those results. And make sure you actually know at least a little bit about the service that you offer, because if you know nothing about it and the contractor makes a huge mistake and you don't pick it up, then that's going to go back to the client, and then it's going to ultimately affect the client. The blame's going to be put on you since you're outsourcing or white labeling the work. So make sure if you do outsource it that it is reputable. You ask questions that only people who are experts in the field would actually know. And if they're not experts, then you don't have to trust them with the results. And then you might be saying, okay, so you get them the results, so why is it closed back to sales? So this step is called the referrals. So what you can do is once you're starting to get a couple clients, you can just say, hey, I want to start a referral program, and just say, hey, if you get me a referral and they close the deal, I'll give you, $300, $300, $400, whatever price you want, $300 off your next month of your marketing fee. So what that happens is the client sends you referrals, and then you don't have to do outreach to do any of it. You can go right into the sales process, and it is a lot easier to sell a digital marketing package to someone who is referred to you by you than it is from someone who you reached out cold and took through this process. Then you can go to the sales, close, you get them those results, and it keeps going and going from there. And then this is when the digital marketing agency picks up, because you're getting referrals, you're having a good outreach strategy. When it comes to building a six-figure digital marketing agency, pretty much 99% of it is pretty much just this whole entire funnel. And you want to focus on one piece at a time when you're just starting out, right? So a big mistake that people make is they just try to figure out every single thing in one go, or they figure out in the wrong order. So pretty much sometimes people spend this was me, I spent a lot of time focusing on, okay, how can I get results for the clients, and barely any time here. And what that led to happening was that, yeah, I knew everything to know about Facebook ads, but I didn't have testimonials still to help me get even more clients, so because I wasn't focusing on outreach, sales, or close. And the funny part is, even with all my knowledge of Facebook ads, when I actually got my first Facebook ads client, I still was nervous about what I was doing. I mean, I had a good idea of what I was doing overall, but overall I very quickly learned that not everything you read about, you study, or you learn about actually works when it comes to getting results for clients. Every case is a unique case for the most part, and you have to, if you have a good understanding of Facebook ads and marketing in general, you can, clutch it out, which I'm happy that I did, because I was happy able to get the results. But, just because you see a YouTube video which says, okay, this got this person this results, doesn't mean it's going to exactly work for you. It could, but not particularly all the time. So for the most part, you want to focus on one step at a time. So make sure you have an outreach method that works well for you. Make sure once you pretty much have an outreach method that's down, that works well for you, you want to have a good sales method. So that's pretty much having good sales scripts, always fine tweaking it to make sure it's good. And then you want to have good closing scripts, so you have a good proposal, and fine tweaking your proposals to making sure that it looks good there, and then getting the results. Again, once you know how to once you have actual experience when it comes to getting results, it's very easy to replicate those results for other clients, especially if they're in different areas overall. So the results part comes easy, but you're gonna have to go through this process to actually get someone good results. And then once you actually get them good results, everything becomes easier. You become more confident, you can charge more, etc., etc. And then from there you can go ahead and get a referral from there. So overall, focus on one step at a time first. The whole process becomes easier if you can systemize and automate some parts. So if you feel confident and if you already know how to do this step pretty well, you can automate the outreach, the sales, and closing calls by just simply, just like you do with the results, just outsourcing it as well. Even though it's pretty tricky to outsource these two, because you want to make sure the person actually has experience with the outreach. You can automate that by cold emailing if you really want to. There are many different ways you can automate it, and from there it just becomes tweaking those systems to make sure that they work best in your favor. So that is the structure of a six-figure agency. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Click on the video up there where I talk about pretty much how I signed a $1,200 and a $2,000 client in 1 week using the same exact structure actually. So I'll see you guys in that video. Take care.